Hey there, everyone. Welcome to another episode. Today, we're going to talk about something exciting, how learning English can actually be fun.
That's right. English is more than just grammar rules and vocabulary lists. It's a language full of creativity, expression, and endless opportunities to enjoy the learning process.
Absolutely. One of the best ways to enjoy English is by using it in real-life situations. Watching movies, reading books, and even playing games in English can make the whole learning process so much more interesting.
And guess what? You can even make learning English a social activity. Finding language partners, joining conversation groups, or even playing language learning apps can help you have fun while improving your skills.
Right. Plus, the internet has so many great resources like memes, jokes, and videos in English that make learning more enjoyable than ever. Imagine laughing while learning. How cool is that?
English is also a great way to connect with people from all over the world. It opens up doors to new cultures, friendships, and exciting experiences.
It's true. And don't forget about music. English songs can teach you new words, phrases, and even improve your pronunciation while you sing along.
So, if you've ever felt that learning English is hard or boring, think again. There are so many fun ways to immerse yourself in the language and enjoy every step of the journey.
That's the spirit. Just remember, English is fun, and the more you enjoy it, the easier it becomes.
So, go ahead and dive into the world of English in a way that excites you. Have fun with it.
And that's all for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you find new ways to make learning English a fun adventure.
Until next time, enjoy learning, and we'll catch you soon. One great thing about learning English is that it doesn't have to feel like a chore. If you find something that genuinely excites you, it won't feel like studying at all. Think about it when you listen to your favorite music or watch an exciting series in English. You're absorbing the language without even trying. You're learning vocabulary, improving your listening skills, and getting used to natural sentence structures all in a fun and relaxed way.
Exactly. And let's not forget about how interactive learning English can be. There are plenty of games and challenges online that turn learning into a playful experience. From language learning apps that test your skills to quiz shows on YouTube, you can make learning feel like a game. Whether it's a word puzzle, a crossword, or even a spelling bee, it can all help you become more confident in your English skills. Plus, it's way less stressful than traditional methods.
Another fun way to learn English is by engaging with English-speaking communities on social media. Whether you're chatting with people on Twitter, commenting on YouTube videos, or even joining Facebook groups, you get to practice your English while discussing topics you're passionate about. The more you interact, the more natural it feels to use English in real conversations. And the best part, you're constantly learning new expressions, slang, and phrases that native speakers actually use in daily life.
That's a great point. Social media also gives you access to various content creators, influencers, and teachers who make learning English more relatable. There are even fun challenges, like Word of the Day, where you get to learn a new word every day and use it in a sentence. You could even try posting your own content in English to share what you've learned.
It's true, and let's not forget the power of storytelling. Reading English books, especially novels, short stories, or even comics, can help you build your vocabulary and improve your writing style. Plus, it's an entertaining way to learn new words and phrases. When you get hooked on a book or a series, you're not just reading for language, you're reading because you enjoy the story, which makes the language learning part even easier.
That's the beauty of it when you connect language learning to things you already enjoy. It feels less like a task and more like an enjoyable hobby. Whether it's through books, movies, music, or games, you're always improving your language skills while having a blast.
And let's not forget that English can also be creative. Writing stories, poems, or even your own jokes in English can help you improve your vocabulary and grammar while expressing yourself in fun and unique ways. You can experiment with language and create your own world of words. It's a perfect way to make the learning experience feel more personal and exciting.
And speaking of creativity, one thing I absolutely love is the chance to play with different accents and dialects in English. Whether it's British English, American English, or Australian English, there's so much fun to be had in learning how people in different parts of the world speak. You can even mimic accents and try speaking like your favorite movie character or YouTube personality.
Yes, that's such a fun way to learn pronunciation and understand how diverse the English language is. It's amazing to think about how one language can have so many variations depending on where it's spoken. You'll feel like you're traveling the world just by exploring different accents.
And the best part, English is everywhere. It's the language of the internet, business, entertainment, and so much more. So, by learning English, you're not only having fun, but you're also opening doors to countless opportunities. Whether it's for travel, work, or connecting with new people, knowing English can be an incredibly rewarding experience.
So, let's shift the perspective here. Instead of seeing English as a challenge, let's see it as a tool for having fun, connecting with the world, and exploring new things. The journey to learning English is so much more enjoyable when you're motivated by the fun and exciting things it brings along with it.
Exactly. So, remember, keep things light. Find what excites you and have fun with it. Because when English is fun, it feels so much easier and enjoyable to learn. Don't stress over it. Just enjoy the ride.
It's also about shifting your mindset, right? If you approach learning English like it's a game or a personal adventure, it transforms the whole experience. Think about how much easier it is to pick up new skills when you're doing something you genuinely enjoy. So, rather than focusing on the idea of studying English, try to think of it as exploring new ways of communicating, understanding, and connecting with others. It's a whole new world, and you're just stepping into it.
That's a great way to put it, Emma. Plus, English is such a flexible language that you can tailor your learning to fit your interests. If you love cooking, there are plenty of cooking tutorials in English that not only teach you delicious recipes, but also introduce you to food-related vocabulary. Or if you're into sports, you can follow sports news and commentary in English, learning terms and expressions while staying updated with your favorite teams. This way, you're building your language skills and enjoying something you already love.
Exactly, Jake. It's like blending your passions with learning. It doesn't even feel like studying anymore because you're combining entertainment with education. So, whether it's watching your favorite YouTuber, playing video games, or listening to podcasts, all these things offer learning opportunities that don't require you to sit down with a textbook or force yourself to memorize rules. The more you expose yourself to English in a natural, relaxed way, the better you'll get at it.
And let's talk about the power of conversations. Speaking English with others, whether online or in person, is another fantastic way to enjoy the language. The more you practice speaking, the more comfortable you'll become. And it doesn't even have to be perfect. Just the fact that you're engaging in a conversation, making mistakes, learning from them, and seeing improvement is a rewarding part of the process.
Totally, it's the same with writing. You can start by writing short sentences, comments, or even social media posts in English. It doesn't need to be complicated. The goal is to get used to thinking in English and expressing yourself freely, without worrying about perfection. Over time, you'll see improvement, and it won't feel like a daunting task anymore.
Yes, and that's where online communities can be really helpful too. There are tons of people out there who are on the same language learning journey as you. Joining online groups where everyone shares the same goal of learning English can create a fun, supportive environment. You can participate in challenges, learn together, share resources, or even play word games. It's motivating to be part of a community that's focused on growth and progress.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, sharing your progress and receiving feedback from others helps keep you on track. It's a great way to stay engaged and have fun. And let's not forget the global aspect of English. Learning it opens up opportunities to connect with people from all around the world. You can make new friends, discover different cultures, and learn about diverse perspectives all in English.
Exactly, Emma. And when you think about it, that's the beauty of the internet and social media. They make English learning more accessible, dynamic, and social than ever before. You can learn at your own pace whenever you want and from wherever you are. Whether you're at home, on the bus, or hanging out with friends, you can always practice a little bit of English, making it fit seamlessly into your daily routine.
And it doesn't have to be a solo journey either. Language exchanges are a brilliant way to make learning English more social. You can pair up with someone who wants to learn your native language, and in return, you help them with English. These exchanges provide a casual, friendly atmosphere for practicing conversation. and you both get to benefit from each other's knowledge.
You know, I think that's one of the reasons why English feels like such an accessible and fun language to learn. It's everywhere. You encounter English in movies, songs, books, games, and even in conversations with people from around the world. It's a part of global pop culture, and engaging with it can bring a sense of connection and excitement.
Absolutely. It's like having a key to a whole new world of content and experiences. Once you're comfortable with English, you'll feel like you're part of a larger community. Whether it's keeping up with the latest trends or enjoying international films, you'll be able to access all that in its original language, giving you a more authentic and enriching experience.
And even when you travel, knowing English opens up a whole new level of exploration. You can communicate easily, make new connections, and immerse yourself in different cultures without the language barrier. It's not just about language, it's about the freedom to engage and enjoy the world to the fullest.
It really is. So when you approach learning English with a mindset that it's not a burden but an exciting adventure, it transforms everything. The more fun you have with it, the more natural it will become. And soon enough, you'll find that English is just another part of your daily life, something that's both useful and enjoyable.
Exactly. So, if you're still on the fence about learning English, just know that it's not about perfection, but about having fun with it and enjoying the process. Start small, explore your passions in English, and let it fit into your life in ways that are exciting and meaningful. Before you know it, you'll be speaking, writing, and understanding English with ease.
And it's not just about the basics either. As you continue your journey, you'll start discovering the depth and nuances of the English language. You'll encounter idioms, phrasal verbs, and cultural references that make conversations more dynamic and expressive. And with every new word or phrase you learn, you're not just expanding your vocabulary, you're understanding how people in different contexts communicate their thoughts, feelings, and ideas.
Exactly. That's where the beauty of learning a language really shines, when you start to understand not just what people are saying, but how they're saying it. It's like unlocking a secret code to how they view the world. English, like any language, has its own set of customs, expressions, and metaphors that can sometimes leave you scratching your head. But that's all part of the adventure. Over time, you'll gain insights into the culture behind the language, which makes everything more interesting.
Oh, and let's not forget the creative side of learning English. It's not just about grammar and vocabulary, it's about how you can play with the language. Whether you're writing poetry, creating stories, or even designing memes, English gives you a versatile toolkit to express yourself in countless ways. It allows for so much creativity, and the more you practice, the more confident you'll become in your ability to communicate anything you want.
And here's another thing. English, with all its global reach, has its finger on the pulse of some of the most exciting developments in fields like technology, business, and entertainment. By learning English, you're also positioning yourself to stay informed about the latest trends and innovations. It's the language of not just everyday communication, but also of global change. Being fluent in English means you can understand new ideas and concepts faster, and even contribute to these developments yourself.
Exactly. The possibilities are endless, and that's one of the most exciting things about learning English. It opens up so many doors, whether it's for your personal interests, career goals, or connecting with people from different walks of life. But what's even more amazing is that learning English doesn't need to be a rigid, serious task. It can be flexible, lighthearted, and spontaneous. The goal isn't to memorize lists of words. It's about creating meaningful interactions that bring joy and satisfaction.
It really is about finding the fun in learning. When you're enjoying the process, it doesn't feel like work at all. You are more likely to stick with it and continue exploring, because the language becomes something you actually look forward to. And that's the key to becoming fluent: consistency and making it fun. English becomes a part of your everyday life when you're excited to use it. Whether that's watching your favorite TV show, chatting with friends online, or even keeping up with news articles.
And don't be afraid to embrace mistakes. They're a natural part of the learning process, and often they can lead to the most memorable learning moments. The more you practice, the less intimidating those mistakes will feel. In fact, sometimes the best way to learn something new is by trying it out and getting it wrong a few times. You'll be amazed at how much faster you improve when you stop worrying about being perfect and focus on enjoying the journey.
That's so true. When you stop being afraid of mistakes, you open yourself up to growth and improvement. And each mistake is just another opportunity to refine your skills. Plus, when you are not stressing about being flawless, you'll be more relaxed and more willing to engage with the language in real-world situations. Whether it's talking to someone you just met or reading a difficult article, every challenge becomes a stepping stone toward mastery.
And with all the amazing resources available today, learning English is more accessible than ever. From language apps to interactive websites, YouTube channels, and even virtual language partners, there's no shortage of ways to get practice and have fun doing it. All you need is a bit of curiosity and the willingness to explore different tools and methods.
Exactly. With the internet, you have the world's library at your fingertips. You can find lessons, podcasts, videos, and forums where you can practice with others, all tailored to your interests and skill level. Whether you prefer structured lessons or casual conversations, there's a perfect fit for your learning style. The best part, you can fit it into your schedule, so you can learn as little or as much as you want when it's convenient for you.
And you can also immerse yourself in English by surrounding yourself with it in small ways. For example, you could switch your phone settings to English, follow English language accounts on social media, or even start labeling things around your home with their English names. This simple exposure, even in small doses, helps you think in English and reinforces the language as part of your daily environment.
It's all about making English a part of your life. The more you surround yourself with it, the more natural it will become to think and communicate in English. And the exciting part is, as you continue your journey, you'll realize that English isn't just a subject you're learning, it's a tool you're using to connect, create, and explore. And that's what makes it such a fun and valuable skill to have.
So keep at it. Whether you're just starting out or already on your way to fluency, remember that the journey itself is where the fun lies. Keep exploring, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep enjoying the process of learning. Because when English is fun, you'll find that it becomes something you look forward to every day.
Right. And let's not forget about the impact English has on personal growth. The more you engage with the language, the more you build confidence in expressing your thoughts, whether it's in speaking, writing, or even just understanding what others are saying. That confidence can spill over into other areas of your life, pushing you to step outside of your comfort zone and embrace new experiences.
Absolutely. Language learning, especially English, often pushes you to think differently. You start seeing the world from various perspectives, as different cultures and backgrounds influence the way language is used. This expands your worldview and helps you understand people better. It's not just about knowing how to speak English, it's about becoming more adaptable, empathetic, and open-minded.
And the more you dive into the language, the more you'll notice patterns and structures that can actually help you learn faster. English has a lot of logical structures once you get the hang of it. And once you identify these patterns, the language starts feeling like a puzzle that's really fun to solve. The rules might seem confusing at first, but over time, you will start seeing the same rules applied in different contexts, and everything clicks into place.
That's true. It's like when you're learning a new skill, and the more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. The same goes for English. It might feel like there's a lot to learn, but as you continue practicing and using it, you'll find that things start to come naturally. The more you read, listen, and speak, the more intuitive it feels to choose the right words, use correct grammar, and even get your message across effectively.
And that's what makes English such a useful tool for personal expression. Once you're comfortable with the basics and confident in your ability to communicate, you can start experimenting with different ways to express yourself. You might find new hobbies, like writing short stories, composing poems, or even exploring different genres of music in English. There's no limit to how you can use the language creatively once you've got the hang of it.
Exactly. And when you reach that point where English is no longer just a subject you study, but a part of your life, that's when the fun really begins. You'll find yourself thinking in English, dreaming in English, and even enjoying English language books and films in a whole new way. It's like unlocking a new layer of the world that was always there, but now you're able to interact with it more deeply.
And that's where the magic happens. Once English becomes more than just a skill for exams or work, It becomes a way to connect with people and cultures all over the world. You'll find yourself chatting with people from different countries, learning new things, and broadening your social circle. It's not just about mastering a language. It's about discovering new opportunities and perspectives you might have missed otherwise.
And it's not just about communicating with others, either. Learning English helps you become a better listener, a more thoughtful reader, and a sharper thinker. It encourages you to engage with ideas and concepts that might be outside of your immediate experience. As you explore more complex texts, from novels to academic articles, you'll learn to critically evaluate information from your own opinions and think more analytically.
Right. That's what makes learning English so exciting. There's always something new to discover. Whether it's the thrill of understanding a difficult phrase or the joy of having a conversation in English without thinking too much, it's about the small victories that add up. Every new word learned, every new conversation started, and every new idea explored makes the language learning journey incredibly rewarding.
And don't forget the sense of community you gain when you learn a language like English. There are millions of learners just like you, all around the world, experiencing the same ups and downs. Connecting with others who are learning or who speak English as their first language creates a bond. It's not just a language you learn, it's a shared experience that links you to people everywhere.
Exactly. Whether you're joining online language forums, participating in language exchange programs, or just interacting with friends who speak English, you're joining a global community of learners. That sense of connection, that shared experience, makes the learning process even more enjoyable. You're not alone on this journey, and that can be a huge source of motivation.
And let's not forget how much fun it can be to explore English through your personal interests. If you're into cooking, there are tons of cooking blogs and recipe videos in English. Love sports, follow international teams or athletes on social media. Into gaming, many of the best games and online communities use English. The possibilities are endless, and you can immerse yourself in the language through things you already love doing.
That's a great point. It's all about finding ways to make English relevant to your life. If you connect it to something you're passionate about, it no longer feels like studying. It feels like an adventure, and you'll naturally want to learn more. It's those little, everyday moments, whether you're watching a TV show, listening to a song, or reading a news article, that will build up your English skills over time.
And remember, the most important part is to enjoy the process. Language learning isn't a race, it's a journey. You don't need to be fluent overnight. Take your time, celebrate the small wins, and keep exploring new ways to practice and enjoy English. The more you embrace the fun of learning, the more you'll find yourself naturally progressing and discovering new things along the way.
Absolutely. The beauty of language is that it's constantly evolving. And as you continue to learn English, you'll start to notice new trends and expressions popping up all the time. It's like being part of a living, breathing community. Slang changes, new phrases enter the lexicon, and the way people use the language is always shifting. So, there's always something fresh to learn. It's one of the reasons why keeping up with English through movies, social media, and even music can be so exciting.
That's so true. And beyond just the words and phrases, there's also the way English helps you develop a deeper understanding of different cultures. By learning how people express themselves in English, you gain insight into their worldviews and values. For instance, the way British people use humour is different from how Americans do. And once you start catching these subtleties, it helps you understand the context better. It's a whole cultural immersion that enriches your language learning.
Exactly. I think one of the most amazing things about learning English is how it opens up a whole new way of thinking. It's not just about memorizing vocabulary or grammar rules. It's about understanding how language reflects the way people think. For instance, the structure of English sentences, the way we ask questions, or even the way we use intonation, all carry deeper meanings. Once you get the hang of it, you start seeing the world through a new lens.
You're right. And when you begin to understand that deeper layer of meaning, you can use English in more creative and nuanced ways. It's like having a new set of tools to express your thoughts. You can describe your ideas in greater detail, and you'll have more flexibility when trying to communicate your emotions. This is especially important if you're writing or giving presentations. You can craft your messages in a way that's both effective and engaging.
And it's not just about professional growth either. Learning English gives you the ability to connect with people from all over the world. It's like having a universal passport that opens doors to new friendships, business opportunities, and cultural experiences. I can't tell you how many times I've had interesting conversations with people from different countries, all because we shared a common language, English.
That's a big one for me too. It's incredible how learning a language can lead to friendships you might never have made otherwise. People you'd never have met in your hometown can become your close friends when you share the same language. And these relationships can enrich your life in so many ways, whether it's through shared experiences, learning about each other's cultures, or just enjoying a good laugh together.
And think about how much English can empower you when it comes to travel. Whether you're traveling for business or leisure, knowing English helps you navigate foreign countries with ease. It's like having a superpower that lets you connect with locals, ask for directions, read signs, and even strike up conversations with people. It makes the whole experience so much more rewarding. You can dive deeper into a place's culture, history, and people, which would be so much harder if you didn't speak the language.
Yes, and on top of that, learning English makes it easier to access information. Whether it's online tutorials, research papers, or even news from different parts of the world, English is the language of global communication. By understanding English, you gain access to a vast library of resources that can help you learn anything you want. Whether you're into coding, cooking, science, or just exploring new hobbies, English is the key to unlocking so much valuable knowledge.
It's true, and it's incredible how the internet has made English an even more accessible language. So much of the content we consume daily is in English: YouTube videos, blogs, forums, and even podcasts. If you're into a particular hobby or topic, chances are there's a whole community of English speakers around the world who share your passion. And even if you're not an expert, you can learn from their experiences and expand your own understanding.
It's amazing how everything is connected in this globalized world, and being able to speak English just brings everything closer. You're no longer limited to your local environment. You can access international perspectives and be part of a global conversation. It's empowering, to say the least. It's like stepping outside your local bubble and engaging with the entire world.
Exactly. And think about how much it contributes to your personal growth. English challenges you to think differently, communicate more clearly, and express your ideas more effectively. It sharpens your mind and helps you become more articulate. Over time, you'll notice yourself improving not just in English, but in the way you approach other areas of life as well.
And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, speaking English won't feel like a chore or something you have to do to pass a test. It'll feel like a natural part of who you are. And that's when the real fun starts. You'll be able to express yourself freely, understand others with ease, and enjoy all the opportunities that come with knowing a global language.
Absolutely. It's all about persistence and enjoying the process. Whether you're just starting out or already at an advanced level, remember that each step forward counts. There's no finish line when it comes to language learning. It's a lifelong journey of discovery. So embrace the adventure and enjoy the ride.
It's definitely a journey that never really ends. The beauty of language is that it evolves, and as you grow with it, you start to see the world through a different lens. The more you engage with English, the more you start to understand its nuances. You may come across idiomatic expressions or slang that might confuse you at first, but as you continue to immerse yourself, these phrases will start to make sense and become a natural part of your vocabulary.
And the more you practice, the more you realize that fluency isn't just about knowing a lot of words or understanding grammar. It's about being able to use those words in the right context and in a way that feels comfortable and authentic. Over time, you'll develop your own style of communication in English. It's a really rewarding process because it reflects who you are as a person, and it's something you can continually improve on.
It's true, and one of the best things about language learning is that it can open up so many opportunities for creative expression. Whether it's writing, music, acting, or even blogging, English provides you with the tools to express your ideas, emotions, and experiences in unique and creative ways. And when you're able to express yourself clearly, you also become better at understanding others. It's like building a bridge between you and the world around you.
Exactly. I think that's why so many people around the world are motivated to learn English, not just for career advancement or academic reasons, but because it allows them to connect with a wider range of people, cultures, and ideas. It helps to break down barriers and create understanding between people from different backgrounds. And let's not forget the sense of satisfaction that comes from knowing you've mastered something that's widely spoken across the globe.
Absolutely, the confidence that comes with language proficiency is unmatched. It's one thing to learn a few words here and there, but when you can hold a full conversation in English, it feels like you've truly conquered something. You begin to see how much more you're capable of, and that confidence extends into other areas of your life. You feel more confident at work, in social settings, and even when traveling. It gives you the courage to take on new challenges and try things you might have shied away from before.
And think about how much easier it is to participate in global conversations. Whether it's discussing international events, politics, or global trends, English allows you to be part of these discussions. You can contribute your opinions, hear diverse perspectives, and engage with people who share similar interests or ideas. In a way, learning English gives you a voice on the world stage.
That's a great point. It's amazing to think that when you learn English, you're also gaining access to the world's most influential books, movies, and cultural works. So much of modern entertainment, media, and academic literature is in English. Whether you're watching a film, reading a novel, or listening to a podcast, you're able to connect with stories and ideas that are shaping the world. It's almost like being in the loop of everything that's happening globally.
And let's not forget the entertainment side of it. English opens the door to some of the best movies, TV shows, music, and books in the world. Imagine being able to understand the jokes, references, and subtleties in your favorite films or music. It's like being in on the joke, and it adds a whole new layer of enjoyment to these things. Plus, you can discover new forms of entertainment from all over the world that you might not have been exposed to otherwise.
I totally agree. And it's not just about entertainment, it's also about personal growth. As you continue learning English, you'll discover new interests and passions that you may have never thought of before. For example, you might dive into English language podcasts about topics you never knew existed, or start reading novels in genres you'd never considered. English becomes a gateway to exploring new subjects and expanding your horizons.
That's one of the most exciting things about learning a language. It's like opening a door to an entirely new world. You begin to notice things you never noticed before, from the way people use language in different contexts to the cultural references and historical moments that shape the language. It's an ongoing adventure, and it's what makes English such an exciting language to learn.
And one of the best parts is that you're never alone on this journey. There's a whole community of people out there learning English alongside you. Whether it's through social media groups, online forums, or language exchange programs, you'll find countless others who share your experiences and challenges. It's like being part of a global network of learners who are all in it together. And the more you connect with other learners, the more motivated you'll feel to keep going.
Absolutely. The support you get from other learners is invaluable. It's great to share tips, tricks, and experiences. And it can be really encouraging to hear how others have overcome the same challenges you're facing. Plus, learning together can make it a lot more fun. Whether you're practicing vocabulary, discussing grammar rules, or just chatting in English, being part of a learning community makes the process feel less daunting and more enjoyable.
It's amazing how language can bring people together, isn't it? Whether it's learning in a classroom, having a conversation with a friend, or participating in an online language exchange, it's about building connections. And with English, those connections can span across the world. It's not just about learning the language, it's about experiencing the world through a new set of eyes. And that's a truly powerful thing.
Exactly. The more you learn and immerse yourself in English, the more you realize that language is not just about words. It's about connection. It's about understanding each other, sharing ideas, and making the world feel a little smaller. And in a world that's constantly changing, knowing English gives you the tools to keep up, learn, and grow. It truly is one of the most valuable skills you can have.
I couldn't agree more. It's a lifelong journey, but one that brings endless rewards. Whether it's for personal growth, career advancement, or just for the joy of understanding the world around you, learning English is always worth the effort. So don't be afraid to dive in and enjoy the process. You never know where it will take you.
That's right, Emma. English isn't just a tool. It's a bridge to a world of opportunities, both professional and personal. When you learn English, you open doors that led to new experiences, new friendships, and new ways of thinking. Whether you're traveling, working, or simply exploring new hobbies, English helps you navigate the global landscape and connects you to people and cultures that might have seemed distant before. And the best part, you get to enjoy the ride.
Absolutely, Jake. The beauty of learning English is that it's not just about acquiring a skill, it's about embracing a new way of life. It empowers you to express yourself with clarity, to understand others with empathy, and to engage with the world in a more meaningful way. As you grow with the language, you'll find that the journey itself is as rewarding as the destination. So, don't rush the process. Take your time, embrace the challenges, and celebrate the small victories along the way.
And remember, learning English is not a race. Everyone progresses at their own pace. What matters most is that you stay motivated, keep practicing, and most importantly, enjoy the process. Even when it feels tough, you're growing and improving in ways that will benefit you for a lifetime.
So, whether you're just starting your journey or you've been learning for years, keep going. The more you learn, the more you realize just how much there is to discover. And with each new word, phrase, or sentence you master, you're getting closer to your goals. You've got this.
That's right. English is fun, and it's a language that will continue to offer surprises, challenges, and opportunities for as long as you continue learning it. Keep exploring, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep enjoying the journey. The world is waiting for you.
Well said, Jake. So here's to your learning adventure. Whatever your goals may be, remember that each step forward brings you closer to a world of possibilities. Keep pushing forward, and remember that every word you learn is a step towards greater understanding, deeper connections, and even more exciting opportunities. Happy learning, and we're rooting for you every step of the way.
Cheers to that. Keep enjoying English, and we'll see you on the next step of your journey. Bye.
Bye.